faces, a lot of new faces in the room, and we're going to talk about some new friends that we're welcoming to Ontario soon. I can feel the energy, the excitement, the buzz all around, and I know you're all we're growing so rapidly, and this is the next stage in this exciting announcement in that growth. At Oven and across this province. Every day, he drives our economy to grow stronger, creates good-paying jobs, and ensures that Ontario continues to be, without compare, across the globe, the best place to work, start a business, and to live and grow. For us in the automotive mobility sector, his tenure has marked the rebuilding and the resurgence of Ontario's capabilities as a global automotive world-class powerhouse, leader in a powerhouse, bringing back, and he promised he'd bring back good-paying jobs to Ontarians, and he has brought back good-paying jobs and great-paying manufacturing jobs to our province. He has done this by reducing the cost of doing business, establishing an ecosystem that fosters innovation and drives commercialization of made-in-Ontario technologies by homegrown Ontario companies, and bringing them into the global market to build up our supply chain, our end-to-end EV supply chain. Because of this, Ontario remains at the forefront in the race to build the cars of the future. I would say we are the #1 jurisdiction in this race to build the cars of the future, leading the transformation of mobility worldwide and driving economic growth and prosperity for all Ontarians as a result. Together with his all-star team, he's getting it done. It is my great pleasure and honor to invite you all to join me in giving the warmest welcome to the Honourable Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario.
Appreciate it. Boy, what a pleasure to be here this morning, and good morning, everyone, and thank you, Rad, for the kind introduction. Boy, you're sounding like a politician up here. You were pretty smooth. You might have a bright future in politics. I'm also thrilled to be here at the Oven Partnering Forum. You know, I love forums like this, bringing everyone together and coming up with creative ideas and thinking outside the box. And before I begin, I want to acknowledge and welcome Consul General Tony, Eileen, and Renee, and Johan, and everyone from Mercedes-Benz. And Jean-Marc, everyone from Honda Canada, great to see you again. I want to thank you for your investment in Ontario, and that's a really exciting opportunity to continue growing. I also want to give a big thank you to the organizers, Claudia, Rad, and Greg, and your teams from Ontario Centre of Innovation and Ontario Vehicle Innovation Network for bringing us all together today. This event is a great opportunity for auto manufacturers, part suppliers, and representatives from our municipalities, colleges, and universities. And by the way, with our colleges and universities, we have 12 universities and 24 colleges who have auto-focused programs to come together to talk about how we can foster growth and innovation in our auto sector. Here in Ontario, we're leading the world in the electric vehicle revolution. We're building a homegrown electric vehicle supply chain, connecting our critical minerals in Northern Ontario and clean steel makers in Hamilton and Sault Ste. Marie to automakers and EV battery makers across the province. And over the past 4 years, we've attracted more than $45 billion in electric vehicle and battery investments. That's more than any other jurisdiction in North America. And friends, the world is taking notice. This year, Bloomberg ranked Canada, although it should be Ontario, as the #1 in its annual global battery supply chain rankings, knocking off China for the first time in 4 years. Companies are investing in Ontario because of this growing supply chain, because of the investments we're making in skills training, energy infrastructure, and roads and highways. In total, we're investing over $200 billion in infrastructure right across the board. They're also choosing Ontario because of our competitive business environment, because of the work our government has done to cut red tape by over $1 billion. You know, when I think we're the only jurisdiction in the country, when I announced we're having a minister of red tape. Well, you know, everyone's joking around, minister of red tape. Well, that minister has cut, red tape and regulations by over $1 billion, saving over 100,000 working hours. And we've never raised a tax. Think of this. So we came into office. I describe it as walking into a bankrupt company when we came to office, and 300,000 jobs were chased out of our province. And the budget was $150 billion. We raised that budget and increased revenues by $64 billion in approximately 5 years to $214 billion during a pandemic as well. And we've never, ever raised a tax. We have a simple theory in our government. You know, you put money back into people's pockets, they're going to go out and stimulate the economy. As simple as going out for dinner, buying your kids sneakers or clothes, or putting a little renovation on your house. The exact same thing goes for companies. You put money back into companies' pockets, they're going to invest in their people, into their technology, into infrastructure, and they're going to create more opportunities. And that's why we've never, ever had to raise a tax. Matter of fact, it's probably the only government I know of in the country that's never raised a tax on anything. And guess what? We're never raising taxes. We don't need to. Governments are reckless. They don't look at it as they're spending their money. They need to start focusing on what they can do to grow revenues, not continuously tax people to death. Billions of dollars we're saving, not raising taxes and reducing the cost of doing business by $8 billion each and every single year. And that $8 billion is going to continue to grow, how we're cutting the burden off the backs of companies. And we're so proud that 6 out of the 7 largest automakers in the world call Ontario home. And we're working really, really hard for the 7th one. See, I see the big smile on your face. But, and we can't take this success for granted. To keep the momentum going, to stay at the forefront of the EV industry, we have to keep raising the bar, and we have to continue to innovate. That's why today I'm so thrilled to announce a new groundbreaking collaboration between the Ontario Vehicle Innovation Network and Mercedes-Benz. As part of our collaboration, Oven and Mercedes will launch a new incubator program aimed at advancing and commercializing next-generation Ontario-made auto technologies. The Oven incubators, starting with the first 3 in Toronto, Windsor, and Kitchener-Waterloo, will become part of the Mercedes Startup Autobahn Network and connect Ontario startups, scale-ups, suppliers, and post-secondary institutions with municipalities, regional stakeholders. With Mercedes Industries' knowledge and deep insight into the global automotive market trends, with this support, the incubators will help foster innovation, create good-paying jobs, and continue to position Ontario as a leader in the auto and EV technologies of the future. My friends, Ontario is continuing to solidify its position as North America's leader in auto manufacturing. We have the expertise, we have the best workers anywhere in the world, and we have the critical minerals needed to power the electric vehicle revolution. Folks, when it comes to the critical minerals, we have the largest mining sector in the world. We're working on getting up to the Ring of Fire, and I always have a rule. You're welcome to our critical minerals, because right now, China has the market cornered, but they don't have Ontario cornered. They're welcome to have all the critical minerals they want as long as they manufacture right here in Ontario, and we'll be there to support them. And we have the competitive business environment needed to attract game-changing global investments to our province. We'll talk a lot about the automotive sector, but the tech sector. Think of the tech sector in the fact that there's Silicon Valley, San Francisco Bay Area. They employ about 388,000 people. We employ 425,000, growing rapidly. Matter of fact, we're growing 365% faster in the tech sector than Silicon Valley, San Francisco Bay Area. A lot of our great students, the universities at one time, that hop on the plane and go down to the U.S., that's not happening any longer. They're staying right here in Ontario to focus on all sorts of different sectors that are involved in the tech sector. And there's another stat that I love saying when it comes to manufacturing. Last year, Ontario, the manufacturers of Ontario, I always say if government creates jobs, we're all in trouble. What we do, we create the environment and the conditions for companies to come here and thrive and prosper and grow. Last year, Ontario manufacturers created more manufacturing jobs than all 50 U.S. states combined. Think of that, more than all 50 U.S. states combined. Matter of fact, last year, over 136 companies worldwide invested right here in Ontario, over $11 billion, created 12,200 jobs. Do you know who's the toughest job, more than me and anyone out there? Is my teleprompter guy, Rico, because I'm all over the map right now. And I don't even know how you keep up, Rico, but that's all right. But anyways, folks, I just love speaking to each and every one of you. And if you need any help, just call me on my cell phone, text me, and I'll be able to get back to you. I think all you have to pull up on the internet, Doug Ford's cell number, and it pops up, and just text me. And let's just keep the momentum going, folks, and let's work together to continue making Ontario an auto manufacturing powerhouse around the world. I want to thank you again for inviting me to speak today, and thank you all for joining us, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated.
Well, thank you very much, Premier Ford. Thank you for being here with us today and helping us to announce this great partnership. Another round of applause for the Premier, please. Thank you. On behalf of all of us at OCI and OVIN, a big thank you to you, Premier Ford, and the Government of Ontario for your continued trust in us to carry out our mandate as the province's flagship initiative for the automotive and mobility sector. It's because of Premier Ford's leadership that Ontario continues to forge partnerships with the biggest automotive industry players. I'm not going to forget Honda here. And bringing them to our province, opening doors for long-term collaboration and to foster innovation and economic growth, and of course, good-paying jobs for all Ontarians. I have to shout out Minister Fedeli, who is knocking on doors always and executing on this vision, on this plan. And of course, with the OVIN incubators, also not be possible without the support and collaboration of our founding partner, Mercedes-Benz. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate the work, and this is just the beginning of our hard work. And as you heard the Premier, just the beginning of your footprint in Ontario. We're looking for growth here. This is the start of this game-changing partnership. Is just the start that will transform Ontario's automotive sector and set us up for continued success for decades to come. It's because of the industry expertise and proven leadership of Mercedes-Benz in the global automotive market that we now have a robust framework for harnessing the potential of applied automotive research to commercialize that Ontario-made IP and foster the rise of new Ontario-based automotive and mobility suppliers into the global market. Today's launch signals a new beginning for our province's automotive sector. For over centuries now, Ontario has been a world-renowned automotive manufacturing hub, and for decades, a leading technology hub. With today's announcement, Ontario is once again making history. As the first automotive and mobility-focused incubator program across Ontario and Canada, and as you mentioned, one of the only offices that you have of this type outside of Germany, so Ontario is first. The OVIN incubators will establish a launchpad for the future of the sector. We are not only ensuring that Ontario will continue to build cars, make cars in Ontario, but develop the next generation of automotive and mobility technologies and future suppliers for the cars of the future, taking on a bigger mission. We are building a platform for nurturing and cultivating the biggest, boldest ideas, concepts, and research behind this work, from the earliest stages of development to the market. Through the Oven Incubators, we are providing a clear roadmap to foster early-stage innovation, commercialize these technologies, and lay the groundwork for new homegrown companies to be established, connect them with global customers, and grow the sector across Ontario and beyond. We are achieving this by connecting industry, post-secondary institutions, entrepreneurs, startups, scale-ups, and leveraging regional resources, academic expertise, and of course, industry leadership. Together, we have built a collaborative ecosystem that will bolster the automotive supply chain of the future in Ontario. Currently, Ontario has over 400 companies, and there's probably more as we continue, as we check the numbers, working in connected, autonomous, electric, and mobility technologies, and many of which are in this very room. You can imagine just how many innovators will join these ranks and bring new technologies to the road and worldwide to global customers. This means more good-paying jobs, more highly skilled talent, increased revenue, follow-on investments, partnerships, and countless more returns on innovation that will cement Ontario's role as Canada's and the world's automotive and mobility powerhouse for generations to come. So please stay tuned and join us for bigger and stronger ecosystem. Take part in the Oven Incubators, ask questions. This is just the beginning of this next chapter of growth. And so, on that note, that time to hear from our new partners, I'd like to turn it over to our partners at Mercedes-Benz, without whom none of this would have been possible. This, I remember, it was at the last partnering forum that we had this idea of doing what you do in Germany in Ontario. And today, we're here to announce it. 1 year. A lot of hard work. So thanks to their collaboration and unparalleled industry expertise, they are opening new doors for Ontario companies to grow and thrive, and for Ontario-made technologies to land in global markets. Now, it's my pleasure to bring to you the CFO of Mercedes-Benz Canada, who brings over 2 decades of experience in the automotive industry and a bold vision to accelerate Mercedes-Benz's charge towards the future of the automotive mobility sector. Please join me in welcoming Renee Newman. Renee.
Thanks, Mr. Ford, also for the nice and kind words you had here just for us. Good morning, everyone. My name is René Neumann, and I'm the CFO of Mercedes-Benz Canada. We as Mercedes-Benz Canada, we are serving our customers here more than 70 years. We have a huge network of established dealership of 57 dealerships across the country, coast to coast, here in Ontario. And through steady expansion, we are still growing our network here. I am obviously a bit biased, but in my opinion, nothing matches a Mercedes-Benz. You feel the quality when you sit in one. You feel the performance and power when you drive one. And of course, you feel the incredible, innovative technology that powers the whole driving experience. A lot goes into these fantastic, beautiful, and technology-advanced cars. And German engineers actually have traditionally received a lot of credit for this. But in order to stay at the cutting edge of technology, we need more. We need a network of the brightest and smartest people coming together and developing the future of the automotive. Yes. And in 2022, Mercedes-Benz announced, together with the Canadian government, and signed a memorandum of understanding in order to promote and foster the cooperation across the complete automotive value chain. And this is coming out of Mercedes-Benz Canada's headquarters in Ontario. We have a team here looking into this and analyzing all the opportunities here out of Canada, out of Ontario. And this is now one of the examples out of this cooperation already, the Oven Incubators program we are announcing today here at this very point. With today's announcement, Canada becomes, as you said already, part of the global Mercedes-Benz Research and Development Network. And this is so great for all the startups here, for all the small companies. Selected projects from Ontario will have the opportunity and will benefit from the international Mercedes-Benz, we call this Startup Autobahn. And yeah, as you all know, Autobahn is a German word that stands for a road in Germany where there's no speed limit. And with this mind, and this is a great connection to this incubator program, because what we are doing here is accelerating all the innovative ideas and technologies coming from these Ontario startups and bringing them together. This being said, I don't want to hold a long speech here. I would like to hand over to the expert matter, to Eileen. Eileen is here. She is the Director of Innovation and Technology and Future Technology from Mercedes-Benz headquarters. She flew over from Stuttgart to give us all the details of this cooperation. Come here, Eileen, over to you.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you, René, and also good morning, dear Mr. Premier Ford. Thanks for inviting us. It's truly my pleasure to be here today at this collaboration announcement between Mercedes-Benz and the Ontario Vehicle Innovation Network. As René just said, my name is Eileen Böhmer, responsible for innovation and future technologies at Mercedes-Benz, working in our headquarters in Stuttgart, Germany, and looking for all the new research, startups, and new activities what might get into our products to come. At Mercedes-Benz, we have a purpose. This purpose is to first move the world. This is what we always did, and this is what we will always do, in order to create the most desirable cars in the world and being pioneer in innovation. And actually, what a timing today. First of all, congratulations to Toronto and to University of Toronto for the Nobel Prize in Physics for machine learning to Geoffrey Hinton. What a pleasure. I think this is an amazing timing and stands for the great people you're having here in this beautiful Ontario. I'm thrilled to be here today to discuss the pivotal role that innovation has for Mercedes-Benz within our R&D global network. And you know, research is a cornerstone for our activities, and it's to those efforts that our global innovation funnel is really successful for all the products to come all over the world in all markets, that we really push the needles for our customer most in class or beyond. But however, we cannot do and do not want to do this on our own. I think innovation and just pioneering is teamwork, and therefore researching always the right partners. Open innovation is a key part of our innovation strategy at Mercedes-Benz globally, and we harness the best ideas from a diverse range of sources, be it internally or externally, all across the world. And today I flew in because I thought, well, I want to be here to announce this collaboration between Mercedes-Benz and Oven, and this partnership significantly is a step in expanding our startup efforts and scouting efforts in North America and promoting the commercialization of automotive innovation. Canada and Ontario in particular is a heartbeat of innovation. It's a hotbed of innovation and new technologies. We are really eager to tap in this vibrant ecosystem and to look deeper what your company and your land and your country has to offer to us. Through the Oven Incubator, we aim to open up a new channel for developing exciting new products to come in our regional network, which is Startup Autobahn, René just said. So it's a globally platform for all the startups around the world where we say these can help us to push the needle for our customers for the most desirable cars in the world. It's a global network, but it's a locally executed approach, and by doing so, we maximize the pools of ideas flowing into Mercedes-Benz products. We're currently in the pilot phase, but we will start right now after the session. So we just had a talk and said, well, the work now starts. The announcement is the one thing, the work is the other thing, so the team is really really excited to get started with all of you to find the right ideas with opportunities for startups and which are of interest for our company. Our goal is to establish a robust pipeline and catalyze growth through a structured process by really making long listings, making evaluation of individual projects and proof of concepts, which will then happen all over the world, and especially from the startups here in Ontario. The next phase will then be to seek expansion through the addition of further partners. So we seek for further partners from industry and also academia to join this program. And this collaborative effort will ensure a continuous influx of innovations and new technologies, driving us forward of unparalleled automotive excellence. And this is what we at Mercedes-Benz stands for. I can't wait to get this started with my new Canadian family here. To making growth here in this journey. Together we will create a dynamic environment, I'm pretty sure, and where innovation grows and groundbreaking technologies are brought definitely into life. I can't wait to get there. You will be hearing from me later in my keynote how we at Mercedes-Benz create desire with our innovations all around the world. But with that, thank you for your attention, and now I would like to hand over to Claudia for some remarks, and I'm really, really happy to be here and excited for this announcement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aline, and the entire Mercedes-Benz team for your incredible partnership and tremendous enthusiasm. And specifically the collaboration with Oven, OCI, and the province of Ontario. This collaboration is instrumental in advancing our shared vision for the future of mobility, and we're excited to keep building on this strong foundation together. I also want to thank Jean-Marc from Honda Canada for your landmark investment announced this past April to build Canada's first comprehensive electric vehicle supply chain. This project will create thousands of new jobs in Ontario and is a huge milestone for the industry. It is such an exciting time to be in the auto industry, and with Premier Ford leading the way, we are confident that Ontario will continue to shine very, very bright and lead the way globally. My name is Claudia Kriviak, and I'm the President and CEO of the Ontario Centre of Innovation. I would like to acknowledge Acting Mayor for Toronto, Paul Singh, who is with us today, and of course, the incomparable Premier Ford. Premier, it is an absolute honor to have you and your team here with us today at the 2024 Oven Partnering Forum. Looking around this room, we see a diverse group of innovators, industry leaders, small and medium-sized companies, post-secondary institutions, and government representatives. This event really showcases the strength of Ontario's innovation ecosystem and the incredible power of collaboration that drives it forward. Ontario is home to groundbreaking companies, world-class research institutions, and an extremely highly skilled workforce. And we have leadership in automotive technology, AI, and quantum computing, among many other areas. And this didn't just happen by chance. It is the result of collective efforts across many sectors. And through Oven, we see this collaboration every day. Startups, industry giants, and post-secondary institutions all play a very vital role in turning innovative ideas into real-world impact. And to keep this momentum going, we need to continue building connections and partnerships across the sector to fuel growth and drive innovation. And collaboration isn't just a buzzword. Collaboration is how groundbreaking ideas happen. Collaboration is how challenges are solved. And collaboration is how industries are transformed. Industry partners bring resources and market opportunities. SMEs bring agility and creative solutions, and post-secondary institutions provide the talent and the knowledge that push innovation forward. And of course, government sets the stage with policies and investments that make these collaborations possible. And that's why this forum is so important. It's a place where new ideas, new relationships, and new collaborations take shape. Partnerships that benefit not just the individual organizations and companies that are involved, but the entire sector. I encourage all of you to make the most of this opportunity, whether you represent a global company, a startup, a post-secondary institution. This forum is all about building the connections that will drive the future of Ontario's automotive and mobility sectors forward. Thank you, and it is now my pleasure to welcome Mona back to the stage.
Thank you, Claudia. On behalf of the Ontario Vehicle Innovation Network, I would like to thank the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, for unveiling the OVEN incubators and supporting everything that we do here at OVEN. I'd also like to thank Mercedes-Benz for being our founding partners and lending your invaluable industry experience to fuel this joint venture. This is just the beginning of what we are certain to be a wonderful and fruitful partnership, and we invite you all here today to participate in the many endeavors that will arise from this partnership. So now I'd like to invite Premier Ford, Eileen, Renee, and your team, Red and Claudia, up to the stage, please, for a photo.